Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. And in this video, I am thrilled to have once again with me Max. Max is a professional trader, trading in Bitcoin, making his living that way. So he must be a whole lot better at it than I am. I don't trade at all. And in this video, we're going to look at what's happened with Bitcoin and what's going to be happening with Bitcoin, plus one or two other altcoins to look and see how they're going to shape up over the next week or so. To find the best cryptocurrency investments, check out Token Metrics. Use my affiliate link for a discount. Apollo have produced the ultimate hardware wallet for your cryptocurrency assets, probably the most secure hardware wallet going. Use my affiliate link and the code for a discount. Please follow me on Twitter and join my official Telegram announcements channel. Also, please follow me on bittube.video. You can also follow me on Odyssey. These are both censorship-resistant platforms, and every now and then I am going to post a video which isn't going to be on YouTube. Hey, good morning, Max. How you doing?
Good morning, Rich. Thank you. I'm doing very fine, and yeah, I'm happy to share the chart with you guys again, as every week. And yeah, let's see how it works.
We normally record these on a Sunday, and today we're doing it on a Saturday. We may be doing these on a Saturday as we go forward, over the next few weeks or so. So everybody, please do subscribe. Also, something seems to have happened to my channel where I think YouTube have done something even meaner with the shadow ban, because my views have dropped by something like 90% over the last few days or so. So please do check if you have subscribed that you are still subscribed, because I don't know if they're sending out notifications. Please share this video and help spread the news about my channel, and comment and like. All of that makes a difference. And one of the things, Max, that I do look forward to these conversations, because I'm learning from you. And then during the week, as things happen, I think, I wonder where it's going to go now. And I'll discuss this with Max, and we'll have a look. And yeah, Max said that would happen. Has that happened yet? Anyway, Max, you're one of the team at VYFI. You're the professional trader and technical analyst at VYFI. VYFI is a Cardano-based DeFi project. So we now have dApps rolling out onto the Cardano blockchain. Any news you want to let us know about VYFI?
Yeah, it's just like I mentioned already last week. The biggest news right now are the VYFI NFTs, and I think they're really hyped by some people. And yeah, team is working hard, and yeah, we are all looking forward to it launching soon.
That's fabulous. That is fabulous. And I'm going to have the links in the description below. And I do invite you to check it out. Check out VFinance. I was thinking about it this morning, because I bought ETHLend many years ago. 3 years ago, I bought some ETHLend, and that was one of the earliest DeFi projects. And ETHLend is now Aave. So if you can do your own due diligence, check out VYFI. Maybe get a little once you've satisfied yourself. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and come back in a couple of years and let me know how it's doing. Okay, so which cryptocurrencies are we going to look at today? Has anything been happening this last week with crypto?
Yes, of course, a lot has been happening. We had all-time high on Bitcoin. I mentioned it in the last video. I said I expect Bitcoin to cross the all-time high this week, and it did it. It came back down, but we will take a look at that in a second. On the chart here, I took back the chart, and you can basically see exactly where we were last week when we made the video. And I said I expect a little bit of a pull down in the short term, and then the move to the all-time high. So let's just let the candles come to us.
Oh,
so you can
play this out like a little video.
Yes.
That's clever. This is
so you can see.
Is this TradingView you're using?
Yes, this is TradingView.
Okay.
So let's make this a little bit. Let's make this a little bit faster. So basically, what I wanted to show is that at the point where we made the video, I basically pointed out a few zones to the downside as I expected a pull down. Still on the chart, we have the highest weekly close. This is the blue line. It's a level I mentioned, and we closed the week above it. So we made a new higher weekly close last week, which was one of the first very good signs before we crossed to the all-time high. And yeah, you can see we barely bounced above the green zone I put in here.
Yep.
which obviously was a great entry. I mentioned 60 to 59K. I would put some buys there, and I also traded it that way. So yeah, pretty much everything said in the last week, and if you watched it, you were probably not surprised by what happened afterwards. So we can just see, obviously, we crossed to a new all-time high. We went up to 67K, and now in the last few days, we saw quite a strong sell-off. If you just look at it in the short term, it was quite a strong move to the downside. So probably a lot of people are now a little bit, let's say, fearful again from the day of the breakout. Everyone just goes long and trades it and tries to catch the train to, I don't know, 100K, which is it's a typical mark everyone talks about. And then it just reverses one day later, and people are already selling again into 60K, which we just came to last week. So I mean, you have to, sometimes the market gets a little bit overconfident too fast, and then it just reverses on a small time frame, and everyone is immediately calling a bear market again. So this is just human psychology at its finest in the market.
Oh my God!
So it's a very critical time.
Yeah, Max, it's going to go to zero. Everybody, send all your Bitcoin
Yes.
to me. I'll take care of it.
Yes,
for you.
definitely sell everything you have right now. No, so we can just take a step back and patiently look at the charts and let our emotions calm down for a bit, because it's basically the same level where we were last week, and last week was not too bad. So why would things be really bad right now? So obviously we have the same zone that I mentioned last week. We have it below us. We just wicked into exactly 60K. On some exchanges it was 60,000 to the dollar, and we're currently holding here, which is a very good sign in the short term. So as I said last week, let's pull them out again. I put in a few more zones to the downside, okay? And I said I'm not expecting us to go lower. I'm not expecting us to reach them, because I would already buy at 60K, but we just have to be ready for it. Like, it's not, you don't trade in a way that if it goes lower than the first zone, your whole account is blown. So it's the same thing here. In my opinion, we get some data. The newest data looks really promising, and I'm not like I'm perfectly fine with this test of the 60K. So I also put some rebuys in, because I had some take profits as well. And as I said, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready if it goes a little bit lower. You know the zones. But overall, I'm expecting us to hold here and see more upside. So let's just put it short again. I'm expecting another good week for us at the end of October.
Are you expecting it to break 67,000 this coming week?
Well, let's put it that way. In my opinion, there's one zone to the upside, which is the red box here. It's basically a zone where we went sideways at around 64 to 65K. We traded sideways before we broke through, made the all-time high. We came back, had it as support, went for another push, and then we completely fell through. And you can see we now retested it from below and couldn't cross it, which brought us lower again yesterday. So for me, it's a very critical level. If we get back to the zone, to the red zone at 64 to 65K, if we hold that again, yes, 67. I'm expecting 67K to fall as well.
Right. Okay.
So for me, this is the more important level. If that one breaks, we are going to 70K plus, in my opinion.
Right. Okay. And
it could happen next week. Yes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say that.
And I can see that we're in a local bear pattern, because we got lower highs.
Yes.
We've got lower lows since touching 67,000. And then also, I'm wondering, because I do pattern trading, although I don't trade, is I can see quite a few head and shoulders patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And those are ordinarily bearish.
Yes, that's true. The thing is, often, let's say it's a perfect opportunity for the market to send some false signals. Let's put it that way. It could look really bearish. It could look like a perfect top for a lot of people. And on the one hand, you could argue, okay, so let's trade it with shorts in that sense, because we expect it to go lower. Because on a smaller time frame, you could definitely make the case and say that it looks it is a bearish trend on the small time frame. There's no arguing about that, and you could take those bearish patterns. But in my opinion, the higher time frames
Yes.
are heavily bullish, and this is why I'm definitely favoring the long side. Like, I'm also I said it many times. I'm expecting new all-time highs way above 70K. But you always have to be also ready in case something drastically changes. But we are not there yet. Definitely not.
Right.
So in case we would get more clearer signals over the next days and weeks before we could say, okay, we're going to a real bear market, of course. So yeah, there's definitely no fear of that right now.
Yep.
And as I said, some of those bearish signs are a great way to trap people going into shorts again before we go higher. Because
It's a bear trap.
yes,
Yeah. Okay. Then one last point before we look at the next one is the zone that we're in, where the price is right now, around 61,000. There's a lot of activity, a lot of volume. So it is possible that it could just stay bouncing around in this range,
yes,
between 61 to 60 before moving upwards again.
yes, that's correct. And also, because you already mentioned that it could just stay here, it's a weekend. As every weekend, we are just repeating the same points. And so if you watch the weekly videos, you probably already have some or have learned a lot. On the weekends, we often are really range bound.
Mm,
So if you see an outlying move in one direction, it will often come back shortly before the weekend ends, and then we see the real move happening. Like, you could see, I mentioned the pull down last week,
yeah.
and then we already rebounced really, really strong in before the weekend closed, and that's why on Monday we came back again, not to the same low, but we came back again, and then we saw the real move higher that also stayed higher, right? So this is very often what happens if we sometimes get a move during Saturday or Sunday. It could just revert back to the average on Monday, and then we see the real moves on Tuesday or Wednesday. This is something that happens quite often on the charts. And to end Bitcoin, the Bitcoin chart with the CME futures, as always, I mention them every week. The close is 61K.
Mhm.
So this is the usual point to make. Have that level in mind. If we are above it, we could expect to get to 61K one more time before we go higher. If we are below 61K, we obviously can expect to get back to 61K as well. So this is what happens. You can see we had only one gap, and this is just something I wanted to mention as well in this video. As I said, the CME gap usually always closes, but very, very few times it doesn't. And at the 29K low in this during this week, we opened a gap and we didn't close it. And this was like the start of this whole uptrend. This was like literally the beginning of all of this. And back in the day, this was something that I looked at, because a lot of people always talk about the gap and they are like overconfident that it always happens the way they expect it to happen. So this is also something like I would not put my whole account into a trade that relies on the CME gap. I'm just always mentioning it because I think it's important to keep in mind. But in case something like this happens again, don't be surprised. Like, this could also just come as a surprise and totally wreck a few accounts as well.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Okay. So which altcoin are we looking at next?
Of course, Ethereum, because Ethereum also came very close to the all-time high. I think on depending on the exchange, it was like exactly at the same price, slightly below by like $1 or something. Or on this one, I think it's 10 $10 below it, so literally at the all-time high. On Ethereum, I also had this, what I mentioned last week. We had the same situation as on Bitcoin. I said I'm expecting a pull down. Let's put this arrow away. A pull down into the zone I gave. We even got a little bit lower. We came back on Monday, and then we got this move to the all-time high. So obviously also worked out very well. What you can see as well on Bitcoin, we are not far away from the last week's low, from 60 to 59K. On Ethereum, we have quite a gap here. You can see. So Ethereum and some other altcoins actually they started to outperform Bitcoin a little bit during the second half of the week. When Bitcoin went to the all-time high and stayed there for 24 hours, we saw the real move happening on some altcoins. So they caught up a little bit. Let's put it that way, because as you can see, it's not above the all-time high yet, but it's holding up quite well. And yeah, obviously a great sign for that. And we mentioned it a few times that the time will come when altcoins will catch up a little bit.
And is that time? Are we coming up to? Does this indicate the beginnings of altcoin season?
No, that I would not say. I think I said it. I can say it once again. We will see this during the week and during the day, that sometimes Bitcoin maybe makes a move first, and then a few hours later, the altcoins will come as well. So it's like a short alt season, you could put it that way. But when Bitcoin will go towards its new all-time high again, like let's say 68K, 70K, I'm pretty sure we will see Bitcoin dominance to pick back up. So overall, I'm still saying it's Bitcoin time for now.
Right.
So the real alt season will come later. Let's just say it that way. The real alt season will come later. But in the short term, you also see this delay happening sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Now there's some. Before we move on, there's something I can see. If you go to the local low around about the 13th of October.
13th. Okay. Oops.
Yeah, and you've
yes.
got, that's it. Yeah, and you draw a trend line from the bottom of that low, going upwards.
Yes, that's perfect.
And I can actually also see it if you draw it from the close, from the openings, not from the wicks, from the bodies of the candle. And that seems to be a bit better actually. And
yes.
So we've got it bouncing off that range. So
yeah. As I said, really, Ethereum looks very healthy to me. Very good. Let's just go on the 4 hours so we have it a little bit cleaner here. I put in this new zone. That's the one thing I wanted to put into this video. When we had the last local high before the September sell-off, this was our high, and we flipped it, as you can see.
Yeah.
So here it was clear. We came back and had a little bit of resistance. This is a typical thing because people that bought it in September and then it sold off, they maybe didn't buy a leverage position, so they didn't get liquidated. But when it comes back and they're at the entry price, they will cancel their positions again, so they get out at break even.
Right.
And this is something that happens usually. But you can see we just had a small move down. We came higher to the all-time high, as I said, and we retested it. So this Ethereum looks really promising. And during the weekend, we're now in the weekend. You can also see that altcoins might move ahead right now on the weekend, because Bitcoin probably stays in the range. I would not be surprised if we see altcoins outperform Bitcoin in the next 24 hours to 48 hours.
Right. Very cool. Okay.
So yeah, for Ethereum, expect more upside as well. Let's just end it again with that more upside. So yeah, let's end it with Solana again, because Solana also made a lot of interesting moves. Yeah, if you watch the videos, you know this trend line. You know those basically the major level at 177. That level came together with the trend line as resistance. Then we went a little bit sideways and lower. We reclaimed the trend line, and then we came above 177. You can see we had a very, very strong bounce of it. And then Solana also went pretty much exactly to the all-time high yesterday. So it's looking really good on that sense. I said I expect upside there, and we got that. So let's.
I can see a double bottom, a rather large double bottom.
Yes.
Which is bullish, which ties in with what you're saying.
Sure. Yes, exactly. Like in my opinion, no matter how you look at the chart, it's definitely a very bullish signs are painted there. So in the short term, we have a very clean zone at 190, 192 to be exact. We held it. Now we are holding here at around 200. Honestly, I would mainly I would expect us to also cross the all-time high here during the next week. Yeah, just be ready for maybe a test of 190s once more in case it happens, but I wouldn't short it. Like definitely not a short opportunity, just looking for long entries. So 190 in case we see more downside than the 177s again. But personally, I'm expecting it not to go to 177 again.
Great. Fabulous. Okay. And a quick look at Cardano.
Okay, let's just have a wait. That's another chart here.
So
Cardano is a little bit
boring.
We said it many times. It's not doing anything, to be honest. It's just really going sideways still. So it's in the same range. It's you could say it's just accumulation, right?
Yes.
So overall, there's just probably a lot of people who go for short-term trades. They short it, it moves up and they lose. They long it and it goes back down and they lose. So it's really not worth it to think about a lot right now. If you just want to put in long-term positions, I think it's not a bad zone, right? You just take a little bit of your funds, you put in a position in case we actually come back to to maybe $2 or 1.9. You can add more, and as soon as we break out above the 2.45, I'm expecting heavy upside on that. So until we stay below, it's just the time to accumulate as much Cardano as you want, pretty much.
And then I can see a tightening, narrowing triangle.
Yes.
In that zone.
Yes.
Which suggests it's a good time to accumulate, and it's getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah, it's definitely getting tighter and tighter. So it's the same situation. I mentioned it with a triangle on Bitcoin, I think a few weeks ago, where you could also see a small breakout, like let's call it a breakout, to the downside, for example, which gets people into selling a lot, and then it actually goes back and after all breaks out to the upside, and that's the real move that's happening. So yes,
Yes.
it's actually, let's go on the daily. If you go back to what happened since May, it's looking really similar. Like the overall dynamic of the Cardano market is very similar in terms of how people think about it. We had initial sell-off, then we had a really strong spike to the upside again. People were saying, "Oh my God, it's so much better than Bitcoin because it bounced much higher." And I traded it. That's at a real time I really have in mind still when I traded Cardano, and people were saying, "Oh, Cardano is better than Bitcoin right now because it's so strong." And then with every pull down, it just went lower and lower, and it stayed. It didn't get lower overall. It held at the $1. But the upside moves were smaller and smaller and smaller, and then people got they lost interest in it. And the same thing is happening right now. People, you see, if you talk with people, you see Solana, you see Ethereum and Bitcoin as usual. Then you see some other altcoins, but most people are not talking about Cardano at the moment. So it's just hovering there, and they will come when Cardano makes a move, and then it's usually too late for people to come in.
Yeah. Fabulous, fabulous. We should be watching this.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say before we finish up?
No, that's it for now. Just play the game patiently. We had a breakout over all-time high. It was really great, and I'm very bullish. But you have to be careful. Yeah, not to get too confident at the wrong time. pretty much, because you see the breakout, then people buy above an all-time high, and then the pullback comes. Everyone wants a pullback, but when the pullback comes, nobody wants it anymore. So
yeah,
buy when you don't want to buy, then you have to buy.
that's right. When there's blood on the streets.
Yes, exactly.
All right. All right. Max, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. If you're watching, thank you. Let us know, where do you think the prices are going to go? Are you trading off these videos? Do check out VFinance. Please do subscribe. Please share this video. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich and VFi Max signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.